Hello, my name is Nicole Miller, and today I'm going to be discussing the topic of global warming and climate change, specifically the main causes and effects of global warming. Ever since I was young, my mom has always taught my sister and I to be environmentally conscious. We use reusable bags, reusable sandwich bags, straws. We reuse, if we forget our reusable bags, we reuse the little plastic bags they give you by using them for our trash or anything else, just to try and reduce as much as we can. And global warming specifically has become a topic of interest for myself. I have, ever since I was young, as I said before, have always been concerned about the environment. And when I was in high school, I actually did a paper on global warming and discussed specifically the ice caps and polar bear population. So this has always been a topic of interest for myself, but this paper is actually allowing me to learn more about the main causes and the overall effects that are starting to pop up more and more, unfortunately. There are two counter-arguments that I would like to discuss today. The first one being naturally occurring rises and falls in temperature. Now, this is very true, very real, and very normal. There have been 5 major ice ages, and in between there have been rises in temperature, which is normal. However, the thing that is irregular and not normal is how fast and how high our heat is right now. So right now, from 1970 to now, we've had just an extreme incline. So from I believe 1940 to 1970, we had a little bit of a cooling phase, but from 1970 onward, we've had nothing but heat, which is the irregular part, an important part to note. The next counter argument that I would like to discuss is animal adaptation. Now, yes, animals can adapt to their surroundings. This is an important thing to note. It is normal and it is real, but how they adapt is they either run, adapt, or die, which sounds extreme, but is true. Animals usually try to go to higher ground to find cooler temperatures, but unfortunately, as of right now, the temperature is changing too fast for animals to outrun. You can adapt, but the issues with adapting are if, say, an animal went to somewhere in the north and found a new little spot to live, well, that animal could potentially ruin a whole ecosystem. It could mess up a food chain or something like that in that region specifically, which could just be like a domino effect chain reaction thing going on there. And that would not be a good thing to have in an environment. And the next thing I would like to discuss are my logical fallacies that I would like to avoid. One that is very important for me, myself, to remember is the slippery slope fallacy. I have high anxiety, I think the worst, and I need to leave that out of this paper. So when it comes to the slippery slope, it's usually paired with an extremist kind of point of view, a bias. It would be as if I were to say something like, we need to stop using cars tomorrow or we're going to die in 2 years. I'm not going to say that. That is not true. I need to use science, and that is especially important to this topic because global warming and climate change are very scientific topics in general. The next one is begging the question. I need to avoid repeating myself, saying things like, Earth is getting hot because the sun is hot. Although that is true, that is very repetitive and not something that I want in this paper or really any paper going forward. And begging the question is also very opinion-based, and I need to try and keep my opinions separate from science because, again, fact versus fiction is important, especially in a paper like this, dealing with something that is very scientific. And a few things that I just kind of want to note to give context to some of the things I explained are, I'll just give the main causes and effects real quick brief. The main causes are greenhouse gases, which are naturally occurring gases, but they are actually, there are new man-made ones, which comes in with human activity. We have created new gases which cause air pollution, and it's causing the ozone to be filled with things we don't want it to be filled with. And the effects, some important ones to note just this year are the severe storms that we've seen. The one that went through Louisiana that just completely wrecked it, and that was really awful, and I hope nobody has family there, and if they do, I hope they're okay. But anyhow, severe storms and wildfires and droughts and things of that nature are all causes of climate change and global warming. Another is rising sea levels. Sea levels have been rising. This is due to melting in very polar regions. The ice caps and snow caps and everything that are melting are actually causing our sea level to rise. So that is also something very important. These are hopefully not going to scare people too much, but it's just something that really needs to be talked about and made aware. People need to be made aware of these issues, because otherwise it's way down the road, but we need to make sure that we have a happy, healthy planet for future generations to come. Thank you for watching my video, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Thanks.